Hello. I think it's working. How is everyone? I see Lone Drone Man, Patriot, Robin. Hello. Hello. I am just getting started. Just give me a second. Nothing much. Windy dates. Yeah. Very windy today. Extremely windy today. It's crazy what's going on. You guys will get to see that in a minute. I started off on the pier because I wanted to get some footage of the wind. It was like a hurricane. It actually sounds like a hurricane. So that's what I got. The my weather cam is inside today because it's just too windy. It'll just get blown off of the ledge. It's a nice day. I mean, it looks nice out, right? But it is cold. It's like the winter. It's like December outside. It was I think it's still, let's see, what's the temperature right now? Temperature right now is 47. It feels like 37 though. Winds are out of the north at 32 miles per hour, gusts up to 50. That's pretty much what it was on the walk. So, I will start it in a second. Give me 1 second. But I hope everyone's doing okay. Let's see. Can you guys wait? What screen is this? There we go. This is the route. 3 miles. Well, it's 2.6, so it's not quite 3 miles. Almost 3 miles. From the 69th Street Pier all the way down to Utrecht Avenue. Straight line. Except for this area, we have to go around on this spot right here. I'm going to actually... Wait. Let me... Because I have to listen through the mixer, so... So let's see. Let's make sure my headset is working. It is working. All right, you know what? I'll just start it. I see 14 people in here. They're probably waiting. So welcome in, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. I am going to get it started now. Just give me a second. Should see a black screen. Here we go. Very windy. We are starting on the pier. You hear how windy it is. Yeah, it's really windy outside. I just recorded this like a couple hours ago. So it's only a couple hours old, this video. But the wind is going to be on my back, so you don't have to hear all this wind the whole time. It's just when we're on the pier is the worst part of it, because there's nothing blocking, but once we get into the streets, it's better. This right here is the memorial that's on the pier. It is a, I guess you could call it a fireman's trumpet or a fireman's horn. And it's, I believe it's made out of bronze, not copper like the Statue of Liberty, but it does oxidize like copper. That's why it's starting to get that same color as the Statue of Liberty. Eventually it'll have the same color as the Statue of Liberty. But the bronze oxidizes, and that's how you get that color. Hey Laura, welcome in. Yep. 69th Street Pier. This is the second pier. Maybe even the third pier. So the pier that I grew up on, fishing from this pier, that was demolished in the 90s. And this pier right now is about 25 years old. This is the newer pier. As far as I know, it's the same dimensions as the old pier, maybe a little bit longer. Here goes the 69th Street banner. So the old pier used to have a banner. It used to have a flag, just like the flagpole at the end. But it had a banner that said 69th Street on it. So when they rebuilt the pier, they did that little metal banner. I guess to pay homage or whatever. Hi, Carol. Welcome in. We got Lone Droman, Patriot, Robin, Laura, and Carol. So hello to everyone watching that has not said anything in the chat room. So I'll give you guys one second. I'm trying to... This is the route, in case you came in late. This is the route from the pier all the way down through Brooklyn to New Utrecht Avenue. It's about 2.5 miles, 2.6 miles. When we get to like Gowanus, we gotta go around Gowanus because it doesn't go. It gets cut in half because of the Gowanus Expressway. So we'll have to do like a little detour. And you can see the wind is it's very windy. It's almost like a tropical storm. I think tropical storm winds are like 45 miles an hour with gusts up to 65. Today it was 40-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 50 miles an hour. And it's still windy outside. Still very windy outside right now. And it was cold today too. Does not feel like spring. It still is. It's only in the low 40s, and the wind chill makes it feel like it's like 32. It's cold out. So you'll see a lot of people dressed like wintertime today. Laura said earlier this was one of her favorite places to go. I've been going to the pier since the 19 early 80s when my father felt I was old enough. He didn't want to take like a little kid on the pier Back in those days, the old pier had a lot of holes in the fences, so people would actually fall through the pier, over the fence. But when I got when I was like 8, 9, I used to go fishing down there and stuff. I got pictures somewhere lying around of me doing fishing on the pier like in the 1980s. Here you go, for you tree lovers. Got some cherry blossoming going on. Yeah, Laura, my birthday passed. March 18th. March 18th. It is, right, Carol? It's a nice tree. There are tons of those trees, cherry blossoms, all over like Bay Ridge. If you go down like Colonial, if you go down Colonial, Ridge Boulevard, Narrows, they got a lot of them. They're all over Brooklyn. Thank you. Thank you for the belated birthday. So this neighborhood is Bay Ridge, and then eventually, I guess we get into Diker Heights. It's mostly residential all the way down. It's not mostly, it is. It's just residential all the way down, except for like maybe one block and a couple blocks down we have like supermarkets and stuff, but mostly all homes and stuff. This is a popular pizza place, especially in the summertime. A lot of people order pizza from here, and they take it down to the pier. We're going to hear the winds throughout the whole walk. What's going on, Ian? How you doing, man? I'm doing fine. How you doing? How's everything going? That's always good. Do it great. Like Tony the Tiger. You had a friend that lived over here? Yeah. I actually had a couple of friends that lived down here. Actually, in this building right here on the corner. Funny enough. The entrance is on the avenue side. I had a friend that lived over here in this building, and then I had a friend that lived down over by Overton Avenue, where we're going to do the route, where we have to do the reroute, and we go around the Gowanus. I had a friend that lived over there. Looks like the block where they filmed Saturday Night Fever. They filmed Saturday Night Fever all over Brooklyn. So it's funny because almost all the blocks in Brooklyn almost look very much the same. But yeah, this is the area. This is a general area. Looks like at one time they had like horses in here. Like stable doors. You got this little stone street. This is Bay, I think it's called Bay Ridge Place. This street, it's just like one block street. It's got like all these cobblestones on it. This is the one block that I was saying that has a lot of commercial stuff going on. Everybody comes to the supermarket. It's like a super fresh, this market over here. You see the fire department probably was in there because they're pulling out as I'm walking up. This used to be a Key Food. It's now like a super fresh. That's the Lowen's Pharmacy. It's been around a long time. One of the fewer remaining family-owned pharmacies in the area. We're going to pass by 4th Avenue, where the train station is. 5th Avenue, where the movie theater is. This block has all these, like, you know, the rounded brick face stone faced walk ups. So the good thing about this walk is the wind is on my back, so like it's pushing me. It's pushing me down. You see, everyone is dressed like it's winter. It looks like it looks like December outside. The way everybody's dressed up and stuff. Fourth Avenue. There goes the Bay Ridge Avenue station for the R line. I purposely make it look like I'm gonna walk into this truck. I put the camera right up to the truck. I always do stuff like that. Because somebody will say, oh, you're walking too close to traffic. Okay, we are right over here where my crosshair is, right down here. So far, we did this distance. That's what we did so far. We are walking across Brooklyn. We are walking due southeast, I guess you could say. If I'm looking at the map, that's what it looks like, southeast, yeah. I think at this point I'm like, let me get in front of this girl. I've been walking behind her for like 2 blocks. There's always one person on every one of my walks that is always like right in front of me for a long period of time, and then I gotta get in front of them. The funny thing, Ian, is like It doesn't so much annoy me, but if I'm filming, I feel kind of funny being behind somebody with a camera. But this always happens where I won't notice the person right away, right? Because I'm too busy making sure the camera looks good. I'm looking around and stuff. And then after a while, I'll realize, I'm like, wait, this person's still in front of me. So I gotta get in front of them. There goes the Alpine, is still around. Movie theater on 5th Avenue in Bay Ridge, still operational. At one point, they were going to close it down, and they had to get a lot of funds to renovate it and keep it going. This right here on the side here, if you look up at you see that sign that says ice cream. There used to be concession stands back in the day, a long time ago. You could actually see where they bricked up the windows, like where you see right there, where they used to sell like ice cream and candy and all that stuff outside. I've only been in that movie theater like maybe once or twice, and I can't remember the last time I went in there. I think I might have went in there. As a matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time I went in there. The movie theaters that I used... So the movie theater I always went to is... We're going to pass this one, is the Fort Way. The Fort Way is down on Fort Elmson Parkway. We're going to pass that soon. And of course the Lowe's, which is right over here by me on 18th Avenue. That is now the Marshalls. Also used to go... Hi, Rose. Welcome in. How you doing, Rose? Also, I used to go to the theater on Bay Parkway called the Marlboro, which was... That was torn down. That is where that... I think there's like a Walgreens over there or something. I know every time I walk by it, I always mention it to everyone that that's where it used to be, but... I used to go to that one. But yeah, the Alpine is still one of the original theaters still standing. Peter, welcome in. How you doing? Yeah, Fort Way and the Lowe's was the was always the two popular ones everybody went to. I always talk about the day that I went to go see Batman, the Michael Keaton Batman. And I mean, the line was all the way down Fort Elmson Parkway, and it was like in the middle of summer, and it was hot. It was like 90 degrees. You had to stand in that sun, wait to get inside that theater that day. This right here, Mike's Deli Grocery. This used to be a skate shop, a skateboard shop. When I was a teenager, I used to come in here and buy stuff for like our skateboard and stuff. It was a long time ago, like going back 1990. Are you glad you caught me, Rose? Yeah, I came on a little early today. I've been coming on all different times. You know, it just... I don't know. I should settle on one time, but I figure people catch the replay, so... So right over here, I'm gonna throw the map on. Right over here, we have to do this little... In order to see, it doesn't go through, so we have to go over to Ovington and then go back down, so... We're about to do that in a second. I can be very sneaky with my live chats, yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I'll tell you what I'm... Honestly, what I'm doing is I'm checking all different time slots and looking at the data. This looks like a good time, though, to be on, though. 4 o'clock, I guess. But I don't know if... See, here's a problem. Once the weather gets really nice... consistently nice, you know, and it gets warm and the summer comes, I don't know if I'll be able to do... Well, I'll still be able to do live streams in the afternoon. It'll probably be like once a week or something. Because I'm always out. Like, once the weather gets warm and the days get longer, I'm out. So like right now, this feels kind of weird sitting here at 4:30. Usually I'm out doing something at this time. But it's, you know, the weather is just crazy today. It's very windy, cold. You see that truck that just passed by? When it happened live, I got scared. I thought I was going to get run over by a truck. It sounded like it was coming right up behind me. 89 and 90 was an awesome period, yeah. The 80s and the 90s. I started high school in 88. 88 to 92 I was in high school. So right now we're going over the Gowanus. And then we have to get back onto Utrecht Avenue. Ninja Turtle phase? Well, I'll tell you what. That's funny you bring that up. In 91, I think it was 91. It was definitely 90, 91, 92-ish. The big game, the big arcade game was the Ninja Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games, and it had the 4. It was big. It was wide. And you had 4 controllers. So you could play with 3 other people. It was probably one of the earliest, like, multiplayer games. And we used to hang out in the store on Bay 11th Street and Bath Avenue, just a couple blocks from here. And we used to sit in there all night and just play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And until one day the girl yelled at us to tell us to get out of the store, that we were in there too much, and we were like, well, you put a video game in here, you know, what do you expect, you know? So, and you put a video game in that has like 4 controllers on it, so not only is it a video game, but it's a video game that 4 people could play at the same time, plus you had like a bunch of people watching behind us. So we would go into the grocery store and take over the grocery store. Yeah, if you look it up, let me see. Teenage. See if there's a picture of it. I got it right here. I'll show it in a second. It's huge. Hold on here. See if I can do this. Real quick, I'm going to put it on the map screen in a second. I'll just wait until nothing's happening. Give me a second here. Oh, this was our first casualty that I saw from the wind. This big flower pot that got knocked over. Alright, so here it is. So that's the game right there. You see the 4 controllers? We used to play this. Look how big this thing was huge. I don't even know how they got it in the store. And we just sit and play that all night. And then one day the girl came over to us and she, just like this, she looked at us. She goes, "This ain't a hangout." we were like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "You can't be in here all night." After that, they got rid of the video game. And then the store went out of business. I think the video game was the only reason the store was staying open. Because we also, I don't know, does anybody remember we used to get this thing called bicycle ice cream? It was 99-cent ice cream. And it come in a little box. So they were selling that. So we'd be sitting there eating that ice cream all night, playing video games. So this right over here is where 9th Avenue kind of terminates. So this is 9th Avenue. It kind of ends right over here. But then you'll be able to see the Fort Wayne Theater in a second that I was talking about earlier. So you can see where 9th Avenue just ends right here. There goes right over there. There's the Fort Way. That big building right over there is the Fort Way. It's now like a big market. Like a big food market. Grocery market. Hi, Angel. How you doing? How are you? How's everything going on? I wouldn't go outside on a day like this. If you got angel wings, you're going to lose your angel wings today. Here in New York. It's very windy here today. Oh, the total eclipse? I actually did that too. Sheepshead Bay. Sheepshead Bay, I did like a whole walk during that eclipse last year. What's up, Itchy? How you doing? I was just saying, because we walked past the Alpine, I think I've only been, I can't even remember if I've ever been in the Alpine. I might have been in the Alpine one time. But the Fort Way and the Lowe's were the 2 theaters I went to. Yeah, it is cold and windy today. It is not normal weather for April. Feels more like December. What's going on, Itchy? What are you doing, man? Yeah, April is like a whiplash month. It's always like a whiplash month where one minute it could be cold and the next minute it could be warm. We got a lot of it's funny because today is the first day it's been sunny also in like a week. It's been overcast and raining. And then we got more rain coming in. I think we got what day is it supposed to start raining again? So we just had like 4 days of rain, and now we're gonna get another 2 or 3 days of rain starting on Friday. So. Nighthawk? Yeah, I never heard of that one. Do you remember the Marlboro Theater? I was telling them about that. That was the one that was on Bay Parkway. Hi, Miss K. How you doing? Yeah, so we are in... I'll give you guys a map look. So we started all the way down over here, and we are down around this area now. We're in Dyker Heights now, actually. This is considered Dyker Heights, actually. It's my neighborhood. But this is the far north side of Dyker Heights. I'm on the far south side. Like, I'm over by the bridge. Got this weird house that's just all the way back there. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a very residential area. Yeah, this is if anybody's wondering what, I'm sure everybody's seen outside my window. That's outside my window right now. That's my view. Sun is about to go in front of the house. Well, it already is in the front, but it's about to go into the camera view. This is the time of year, I will say this though, this is the time of the year where the sun is just going to sit in front of the house for hours, and it gets really hot right here. It gets extremely hot. And I have the AC, if you can see the AC over my head back there on the top of the... It's pretty strong AC. It cools down in the living room, but, I mean, you have to really work it. If you want to keep it cool in the living room during the summertime, during heat waves. Yeah, we just passed 11th. We're gonna hit 12th next. So, we're walking down to Utrecht Avenue. We are walking from the pier down to Utrecht Avenue. This is one of those walks that it feels like a long walk, but it's actually not that long. It comes in at 2.6 miles, which I was surprised. It feels like a 3-mile walk, like a little over a 3-mile walk. Hi, Susan. Oh, you're in Texas now? I get a lot of people that watch, and they're obviously they no longer live here. A lot of people that watch my walks, they're from another state. They used to live here when they were young, or they just moved. I get some people that are moving here that watch my stuff and say, "Oh, I'm actually going to move into that neighborhood." I had somebody a couple weeks ago, I can't remember, there was somebody talking about they were going to be moving into, they're moving into Midwood or something like that. Cruising down 86th Street with the radio blasting. There's still a lot of people that do that, too. You're in Las Vegas? I didn't know you were in Las Vegas. I have family down in Arizona. Not too far from there. I haven't been to Las Vegas in a long time, though. The last time I was in Las Vegas was... wow, 2000? Got this guy fixing something. Probably fixing a light or something. Oh, it looks like he's... I don't know what he was drilling or screwing or whatever. Oh, Susan, you went to Lafayette? I went to Lafayette. I graduated in '92 from Lafayette. I have done a Brooklyn Heights walk. I have. I'll get you the link. Or you could search for it in my channel. I'll get you the link, though. So, this mural you're all gonna see over here, I'll tell you what this mural is. So, there's actually like 3 murals here, but this one mural right here that everyone always asks questions about, these 3 kids right here. This mural's been around a long time. There was four kids. I know some of them are relatives, and they went on a fishing. They went fishing one night upstate New York, and it was in the winter time. And they were on a boat. They had no life preservers, nothing. And they were wearing a lot of layers, obviously because it was the winter. And one of them stood up and tipped the boat over. They all went into the water. And only one of them got saved. The other 3 died. That's what that mural is. And that happened back in 2008, 2009, I think. Those other 2 murals, those newer ones, I don't know what they're about, so maybe somebody will watch this and put the information in the chat or in the comment section. Amazing how far that Brooklyn Chinatown is always... It's all over, man. It's not just Brooklyn. It's not just New York, man. It's all over. It's all over. To me, 8th Avenue is like the true Brooklyn Chinatown. Because even on 86th Street, there's still a good mix of different types of businesses, although it is mostly Asian. It's not all Chinese. You have Vietnamese, you have Korean, Mexican, Russian. There's a French pastry shop down there. Some Italian still down there. But you go to 8th Avenue in Sunset Park, that is Chinatown. Yeah, I remember 8th Avenue. I lived on right on 42nd Street and 8th in Sunset Park. I remember what it used to be like. Let me get that link. Let me get that link. 1 second here. Brooklyn Heights. When did I do this? When did I do this walk? I gotta go back there. It's a nice area. July 2nd. July 2nd. So there is the link. Hold on 1 second here. Here you go, Rose. So, or anybody that wants to see that, like after or whenever, you could just save that link. That's the Brooklyn Heights walk I did. Well, we're getting close to the end, huh? I think, where are we? Past 13th Avenue, so we got a couple more blocks. So Borough Park is still very Jewish. Now, when I was a kid, it wasn't all Jewish. I'm sure when Carol, you know, like she'll tell you, she'll remember, it wasn't all Jewish. So a lot of Italians, Irish, Polish. We lived on, we lived in Sunset Park for the first part of my life, and then we had to, I was looking at this. I was like, is that a bunny or a dinosaur? It's like an Easter dinosaur or something. We moved here into this neighborhood, but before we moved from Sunset Park into Dyker Heights, we needed to find somewhere to live. And at some point, we moved into like a temporary place. And I was living on 41st Street between 12th and 13th. The old Carvel used to be on the corner, right on 13th Avenue. And this is like back in the 1980s. I want to say I was there 80, 84 and 85. I had my communion. I did my communion. My communion was at St. Catherine's. If you remember, Cal remembers this. There's now a big building there. There used to be a big, there was 2 schoolyards, and then you had a big like parking lot. And they used to have the bazaar. They used to have like a bazaar there. They used to look like carnival rides and stuff back in the day. Hey, Mark, thank you. Welcome in, Mark. Albuquerque. It's funny how many people that no longer live in Brooklyn or in New York come in and watch. We got Las Vegas, we got Albuquerque. Yeah. The bazaar was fun. I used to go all the time as a kid. I can't remember the last one. The last one they had there was maybe right before the 90s. Itchy's in Florida, yep. I know Ian is in here. He's in PA, I believe. This is the end, by the way. This is Utrecht Avenue. Here we go. This is the north side of the 71st Street station. And this is where we're going to end it. We're going to end the walk here. I could actually take my headset off because I don't need to monitor that anymore. Oh, it was a good walk. I would have kept going, but I mean, I thought that was a long walk, and then when I came home and I mapped it, it was like came out to like 2.6. I was like, really? It just felt longer. Felt like longer. That was the distance we did right there. From the ocean, from the Hudson down to the train tracks. Could have kept going. It ends, Bay Ridge Avenue officially ends at Bay Parkway. That is where it ends. Here's the window cam. Rose is in Westchester County. Okay. Yeah, we got people from all over. I actually had my weather camera on yesterday. I believe. One second here. I think I'm gonna see if I can get my see if I could get my weather stats up. I'm trying to get it up. Let's see if I could do this. Let's see. I think it's working now. I think you guys could see this. I have like a weather station, so I could punch this into the camera. It says gale force winds on coast. That's me. 25 to 35 miles per hour. It's a nice view. The sun is about to go right in front of the camera and it's going to get all washed out. This is that time of the day. I'm telling you, this time of the year, we get some really great sunsets. I'll show you guys some sunsets. Hold on here. I will show you guys the sunsets that I get from this window. You don't even have to leave. You don't even have to leave the house to get some good sunset pictures. Let me see if I can find some here. One second here. This is one right here. How do I do, can I? One second. I'm going to show you guys a picture. This was the first, I believe, wait, I think this was one of the first pictures I took when I moved into this apartment in 2020. One second. Oh, there goes the full camera. Ah, here we go. This is it right here. This is one of the first pictures I took when I got into this place. There you go. Oh, wait, hold on. Why did it do that? Why did it do that? There you go. I'm telling you, you get some really nice sunsets from this window. So you get a lot of great pictures from here. I think there's another one I have. There you go. Always getting nice sunsets. This is that time of year though when we start getting these are like all the like stormy sunsets. These are like after like a thunderstorm comes in, and then the sunsets after the storms come through, you get like the high level clouds, and then you get these really crazy sunsets. See if I could find another one. Here's another one. This is actually right after a thunderstorm. You could see some of the rain still coming down over here. That's all rain right here. This is all rain coming down right here. So one thing about being a photographer, I take pictures anytime I can take a picture. I will take pictures. I am not married and I do not have kids. I have pet plants. Those are my kids back there. Let me see. Is there anything else? You also get good moon shots too. So even at night, get some nice moon sets. Where did all the drones go? Well, I have one of them. I have one of the drones. I don't have any pets. I don't have any. I had a cat. My cat lived. She lived 17 years. I don't have any pets. All of the drones, you know, it's funny how like that all stopped so fast. Do you remember like how crazy that was? Everyone saw a drone. Everyone was like, I saw so many videos. I was getting into arguments with people because there were people that were they were filming the planes coming in to LaGuardia, and they would be like, "Oh, look, it's drones! It's drones!" Like, no, those are planes. Pastels. That's where my sister, I used to go to Pastels. Hold on. Circles or whatever. Yeah. 64th Street. My fiance was saying that today if you were married and had kids, because I was watching that. Yeah, I definitely don't have kids. Not married. Birds or fish? Never had birds. Had fish. Had fish. I've had fish. I've had yes. I've had an alligator. I had an alligator. I had an iguana. So wait. So this cat. Obviously, I've had cats throughout my life. So cats, bird, alligator, iguana, a mouse, which we fed to the no. I've had a few. I've never had dogs. Trying to think. Any other pets I could think of? Do I go clubbing? No, I don't go clubbing. You'll find me at a sports bar. You won't find me in a club. I was never a club person. I don't know if you're asking me or somebody in the chat room. I was never really a club person. I did go to a lot of Sweet 16s though, growing up. I mean, everyone had a Sweet 16. I must have went to like 100 Sweet 16s. So that was like a club in itself. Bentley's. I know Bentley's. I didn't go. I went to man, what was the name of that place I used to go to in the 90s? Someone's going to say it before I could figure it out. I can't remember it. Rio's? No. I can't remember the name of it. I can't think of it. I'm trying to think of all the names. I remember there was a place called L'Amour's, right? Palladium, Webster Hall, Limelight. Limelight was freaky though, man. Limelight was a crazy place. Palladium, that was probably the one. Yeah, yeah. I worked in, the thing is, so as a teenager, I worked in catering halls. So when everyone was out clubbing, I was out serving drinks in catering halls. And back in those days, I don't know if you can today, but back in those days, even if you were under the drinking age, you could still serve drinks, which was kind of crazy. You had to do like a bartender, like a 6-hour bartender class. and then you'd be serving drinks and stuff. I used to make a lot of money on the weekends, like ridiculous amount of money. But I worked in McCallie on 86th Street. I worked in McCallie. I worked in Del Monte on Bath Avenue. Colonial Manor on Bath Avenue. There was another one I worked in. I think it was DeBal Gardens. DeBal Gardens on 18th Avenue. Yeah, I worked in all the catering halls. Weddings and so it was always weddings. Weddings were always Saturday. And on Sundays it was like sometimes you had weddings on Sunday, but a lot of times it was baptismal parties or whatever. So but you know, a lot of the adults were drinking. So that was Sundays. On Fridays with Sweet 16s. And you had a lot of adults that would drink, so you would serve the adults at the Sweet 16. So it was always, I was always serving alcohol, and it was the one catering hall that I served a lot, the most at. I was always working at was at I would say it was McCallie. I want to say it was McCallie. It was really a tie between McCallie and Del Monte. Del Monte was on the corner of 19th Avenue. And Bath, that's where Scavallini is now. That's the Italian appliance place. But yeah, I used to. All right, Rose, take care. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, catering halls was the big deal. I mean, catering halls, like everyone worked catering hall. All the teenagers were catering halls. You had to start out though as like a waiter or a server, which really sucked. It was horrible. It was really horrible. I hated that part of the job, but you had to do it. They weren't going to just let you bartend if they didn't know how good you were at, you know, serving like food. Yeah, I'm Italian. I'm actually half Italian. I'm half Italian, my father's side, half Norwegian, my mother's side. So Norwegian and Italian. But I had to do serving for a long time. I think the first whole year I was catering was all serving. And then eventually, when I turned 17, I started serving drinks. So 16 was food service, where you worked in the back of the kitchen. You were like a waiter. You would go take the orders. And I remember back, I don't know how they do it now. Like, they probably don't do this. But back then, like, you had like a pad. And it actually had, so you were assigned your, like, 4 tables. And, good night, Rose. And you had on the pad, it had like the tables, like, so you would like put like little initials of what they ordered. You know, there was only like 3 things they could order. You know, it was always the filet mignon was always on the menu, and then there was some other stuff. But you had first you would do the appetizer. That was the appetizer would come out. Everyone got the same. Well, sometimes they'd have a menu for the appetizer. It depends on how much money the family spent. If it was like on a budget. The only thing they can have a choice on was the main course, right? So you had appetizer, main course, and then dessert. But if they put a lot of money, they would be able to choose what their appetizer was going to be, and they would be able to choose what the dessert was going to be, which was most of the time. Most of the people that had parties would do that. So, yeah, you would have to take the orders for like all 3. And yeah, it was a pain. I hated doing the food service, like being a waiter in a catering hall. It was horrible. Because here's the thing, like, so the first course, like so let's do a wedding. Let's talk, because that was the worst. So at a wedding, right? Everybody comes in and they sit down and, you know, they're talking, they're meeting with everybody. And then eventually you go over and you take their first order, which is for their appetizers. And at that point, people are just starting to dance. And, you know, the bride is probably doing some things. She's talking, and the groom is talking, and the family's talking. So that was always the easiest to serve. But then you took the order for the main course. And by that point of the night, everyone is dancing. And you've got to go and you got to serve the food while everyone is dancing. You got to go through everybody dancing. It was crazy. It was hectic. I never dropped a plate, never dropped a glass. But, man, I was terrified. I was going to, like, smash somebody, like, with food or something. And then dessert, it started calming down. People started calming down, but then you get a lot of people over by the bar and stuff like that. Then the next year when I started working, that's when I started bartending. I have to worry about all that stuff. So I would just I would be over by the bar and people would just come and ask for a drink. And that was that. So... But I'll be honest, I couldn't remember how to mix drinks. I mean, the last time I mixed a drink was, like, long time ago. All right, where are we? I am going to... Times are right now 5:22. Did the stock market crash today again? I'm like gonna be poor, by the way. Oh my god, the stock market crashed again. Well, it didn't crash that much today. So all right, everyone. I want to thank everybody that came in. So let's see. What did we do? We did that walk. And I don't know. The next time I'm going to be on, I have no idea when I'm going to be on again. I know that as, like, it's getting... The weather is getting nice, you know, well, except for today. Today's cold, but as the days get longer and the weather gets nicer, I'll be out more at night. So I don't know if I'll be able to do these in the afternoon. Take it easy. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm gonna actually get dinner ready. It is 5:30, so I usually don't eat until about 6. So I guess I'll start cooking something up. I think I'm gonna do like chicken parm. What do you guys think? You think chicken parm is good for tonight? Tuesday chicken parm. I used to go to a place that used to have like a chicken parm special on a Tuesday. And it was amazing. It was actually a pizza place. Back in the day, I used to go to all the time. Tuesdays, chicken parm, but then I don't know what happened, but the food it's not as good as it used to be. The pizza place is still open, but the prices are just so expensive and stuff. So I eat most of my food inside anyway. Like I cook 95% of my food. Like I don't really eat out a lot. I probably eat out like once a week. I eat mostly inside. It's so much cheaper to eat in. It's so much better too. Because you're the one that gets to prep your own food. You don't have to worry about someone else touching your food and stuff. So, but the other day I stopped for pizza. I think it was 2 weeks ago I stopped for pizza and I was looking at the menu. And I couldn't believe how much they were charging for a chicken parm platter. I was shocked. I was like, $20. $20 for chicken parm platter. And I'm saying to myself, it cost me $10 to get enough chicken to make chicken parm for a week. Like I could make 3 to 4 plates of chicken parm with $10 worth of chicken. And the pizza places now are charging like $20 for chicken parm. So I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Thank you, Angel. Yep, I'm going to bounce. I'm going to bounce. I will leave everybody with this window cam. For a few minutes, and rigatoni with pasta with it, along with garlic bread. Oh, I make some. Let me tell you, I make some really good garlic bread. I can make some really good garlic bread. I have a lot of garlic bread hacks too, like quick and dirty garlic bread. Like if you got people coming over and you can't do it like the traditional garlic bread. I could whip things up real quick and you wouldn't know the difference. I do a lot of different types of garlic breads with like garlic bread with prosciutto. I could do garlic bread with some peppers. I do all types of garlic breads. All right, everyone. I want to thank everybody for coming in, and I am going to sign off now, and I will catch you all on the next live. I don't know when that's going to be, to be honest with you. I know with this weather, it's going to start getting rainy again, but I am going to be out there probably recording some more walks. I don't know if we'll go out into the city, but I do want to get out to Queens, so we'll see that. But let me look in the room here. We had a lot. We had, let's see. We had Lone Droneman, Patriot, Robin, Laura, Carol. Ian is in here right now. Rose, Peter. Angel Wings just left. Itchy. And I think I got her at Miss K. So we got Miss K. And there was somebody else I'm going to catch in a second. I'm scrolling down. There was one person I remember. You had Susan. There was one person I remember seeing. Mark Curran. Sorry if I'm murdering your last name, but Mark was in here. And anybody else I would have missed, but I think I got everybody. I think I caught. I'm scrolling down the chat right now. Scrolling down. I think I got everybody. So everybody take care, and I will catch you all on the next live or the next walk or wherever. All right. So I hope everybody has a good day, and see you out there. Bye-bye.